What are your thoughts? Like, who are they? Who is this team? Are they the Columbus Game Leafs? Are they the St. Louis Game Leafs? Are they the Tampa Game Leafs? Are they the Winnipeg Game Leafs? Who are these guys? Are we pulling off the Scooby-Doo masks and here we go, like trick or treat? Who are these guys? Who are
they? I don't know, man. I don't know. You're listening to the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast with your hosts, Chad and Dale. Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast, episode 236. I'm Chad.
I'm Dale.
And tonight we're going to get into a little Jet action.
Big time.
The Leafs went and, they took down the Winnipeg Jets. So that's a real nice thing to see.
Hey, gotta admit off the top, last podcast, I was very skeptical. I did not think they were going to win, but they did go into the peg and they ended the Jets' 8-game win streak to start the season. The red hot Jets. But I got a little theory about this though, Chad. But listen, off the top, do you think Halloween right around the corner? Tricks or a treat? Trick or treat last night in Winnipeg? Do you think they're tricking us here? The old tricks going into Winnipeg? They have a great record in Winnipeg. Did we get tricked last night or a treat? Signs of nice things, signs of things to come. What are your thoughts? Like, who are they? Who is this team? Are they the Columbus Game Leafs? Are they the St. Louis Game Leafs? Are they the Tampa Game Leafs? Are they the Winnipeg Game Leafs? Who are these guys? Are we pulling off the Scooby-Doo masks and here we go, like trick or treat? Who are these guys? Who are
they? I don't know, man. I don't know. Can we have a little bit of both? Like, can it be a trick and a little sweet treat?
I'd rather not, but it probably more than likely.
They've played 10 games so far, and so far this season we have seen like percentage wise it's broken completely even into amazing, mediocre, okay, dog shit. So I have no idea if it was a trick or a treat last night, but what I will say is every time that they have played on Amazon Prime, they've played unbelievable. So maybe we just have all the Leaf games on Amazon Prime.
Now, hang on. Let me just stop you for a second. Did they play unbelievable? Or were the Leafs that good? Or were the Jets kind of bad? Maybe a little tired. You caught them coming off a road trip, I think. First game back at home.
A little bit of both.
Were the Leafs that good, or were the Jets that was nowhere near the Jets' A game? Not even close.
No,
not even close.
I mean, you still scored 6 goals.
Yeah.
I know one was an empty netter, but you still, you put in 5 past Hellebuck.
That's very weird.
So even if they weren't playing their best, they were still 8-0. They were playing great hockey, and you beat them.
Yeah, you're right.
You take the good, man. Take some good out of this.
You take the good, you take the bad.
You turn it into
facts of life.
That's right.
But I think that's the right show anyway, isn't it? But you take the good.
Facts of life. Facts of life. Yeah, that's right. The facts of life. That's right.
Anyway, okay. I guess we'll take it. We'll take it at this point.
Just quickly, did you know that all those 80s TV shows songs were written and sung by the same dude?
No, but that doesn't surprise me because they all kind of sound the same.
Not the facts of life, but Family Matters and Full House. Those songs, same guy. There's another one too, same guy, and they kind of sound the same.
They really do. That guy must have made a fortune.
Oh yeah,
absolute fortune, man. Yeah, I didn't know that, but that doesn't surprise me to hear that. But anyway, so the Leafs go into Winnipeg. They beat the Jets and their 8-game winning streak to start the season. And right off the top, I mean, geez, Pacioretty, Tavares, Nylander. How you doing, guys? Pacioretty, like in particular, holy smokes, man. If this cat can stay healthy, which is very doubtful in my opinion, like I'm just being honest, like he just doesn't seem to be able to stay healthy. Maybe he is healthy. Maybe he's got his body back to a point where like he can. I hope he can, because if he can contribute like he did against Winnipeg, whew, man, that's the exact type of player that we've been looking for, man. Like veteran guy, not afraid to take the body, goes to the dirty areas. His hands are good. Like Pacioretty. Like I didn't realize, like, you know, I didn't watch a lot of Habs games when he was there, so I didn't realize how good this guy actually is. And he's past his prime for sure, but he's still got a little juice left in him, it looks like to me. But like, did you realize Pacioretty was like kind of a beast? Like this much of a beast?
I knew Pacioretty was good only because like I didn't watch a whole lot of Montreal games, but he was always in the top of the league for scoring. What I didn't realize about Pacioretty was the little grittiness he has to him. And I think that might just be because as a Leaf fan in my head, all Habs are pussies. So you know what I mean? But I didn't realize that he did have some grittiness to him. And then also his hands, like his ability to make plays and pass. It's great. What I think is
he sees the ice like really well.
Yeah, he's a smart hockey player.
Very
and
smart.
You can take a guy's legs away, but you can't take that away. Like he still has that hockey sense.
Yep.
Try now, while he's feeling good, to get the most out of this guy. He's not going to stay healthy. There's no way he's playing all the way through. Like you're going to have to sit him or he's going to get hurt. But right now he's feeling good. Can we maybe squeeze out 2 months before he falls off? Can you get to Christmas maybe?
Like I was gonna say, like, we might need a thing here. Like I want this guy in the lineup come playoff time. So like you might want to load management this puppy here.
Oh, for sure, load management. But what I'm saying is, like right now, play him on the second line, play him with Nylander and Tavares, where he's gonna get way more minutes than he would on the fourth or third line. You're gonna play him on the power play. And then when he starts to fall off a little bit, like squeeze some juice out of him early.
But do you run him till the wheels come off?
No. You just until it looks like the wheel might be getting a little loose, and then we pull it back a little bit.
Okay.
But if this guy can help you bank, 10, 15, 20 points in the next little bit.
Yeah. He was literally that Winnipeg game. He was literally in on everything. He looked incredible. I was blown away. I'm like, holy, talk about turning back the clock here, bud. He was like, he was in on everything. Absolutely making heads up plays, Chad, all over the ice. Heads up plays all over the ice. Every time he was on the ice, he looked incredible. So
the whole line did.
They really did. But I thought he was driving it. I didn't think the other two were driving it. I thought he was the one driving it. Did you not think?
Yeah, I thought he was the one driving it, but also I thought having Nylander made the space for JT and Pacioretty. When JT and them had Robertson on the other wing, Robertson just doesn't take enough attention from the D.
Oh.
But Nylander does. Nylander pulls eyes off of Pacioretty and Tavares, and he was doing that all night, and it gave Pacioretty more ice, more space, and JT doing what JT does, shoveling in pucks right in front of the net.
Yeah.
All night long.
It was great, man. It was great to see JT get the hat trick, obviously, with the empty netter. But that line was just so strong. So we can move off that, but I got some other stuff here. Some of the other lines, not so much. Not going to go super negative here. I'm glad they got the win. But again, if Pacioretty can, just before we move off this, if he can stay healthy, it will just be a huge, huge plus. And I think, man, that guy could really factor in key situations, especially if he's healthy for this team in the playoffs.
Didn't I say that in the offseason when they got him, when he signed the PTO, and you were like, no way this guy's even on the team.
You're right, man. But just because of the injury history, I'm like, what are you doing? Find someone else, because he's not going to stay healthy. And chances are, but I hope he does. But
he is a beast. He does have the hockey sense. Why not take a chance on him?
Yeah.
At
No,
the
you're
money
right.
that he's making, why
You're right.
not?
No, you're right. I hope he can be healthy in the playoffs, and because that's the kind of guy who I think will elevate his play. And not enough of the, this song and dance, not enough of these guys elevate their play come the springtime. I think he would be a guy that would elevate his game big time come the next spring. So we'll see how that all plays out. But as of right now, holy smokes, super impressed with Max Pacioretty. You don't want to load management, maybe, but you got to keep him in. Give him a stretch of games for sure. Like he's done nothing to be taken out of the lineup. Like, because he was healthy scratched earlier, right? So Berube's got to be looking at that and like, yeah, no, he's a keeper. Like, sorry, little Nicky or whatever, and more on him in a second. But anyway, anything else on that, or we'll move on?
No, move on.
Okay. Knies again, Matthew Knies. Holy smokes, this kid. Man, he's playing power play now. I'm going to get to the splitting up of the power play here in a second, but he's playing power play minutes now. He did before on the second unit. Now he's on the top unit for now. Killing penalties. The play he made last night when he killing penalties, just over the play I'm talking about? He's over the line. He kind of was he was like almost going to do a spinorama. He like faked the guy out. This fucking guy, Matthew Knies, you were mentioning last podcast or whatever, or the one before that, about like Tree Living probably should have like seen how this was going to project and got a contract done, because this looks like trouble. Yeah. This looks like trouble.
He should have did what I said was he should have did what he did with Joseph Wall with Matthew Knies. He should have signed him last year to a reasonable extension, because every game his paycheck's going up and up and up.
Like what is his next contract going to look like for you? Is it a bridge? Is it a bridge deal, or do you go right to like what term and
it's hard to say because it's been 10 games.
No, so man,
I hope so, but he might have a falling off where he goes into a lull for a few months, and
it doesn't matter though. The way he plays the right way.
It does matter if he ends the season at 80 points or if he ends the season at 50 points.
Okay.
That's a big difference.
Okay. For the dollar amount, for sure.
If he stays on the top line and contributes all season, the sky's the limit.
Berube's not taking him off the top line. He loves this guy.
I love this guy.
Yeah. So do I. But like, I'm just saying, like, to me, I don't see, he just looks better and better and better. Like the work he does down low, driving the net, banging home dirty ones, clear, like just he's in the right. He's in the right place. That's why I think he's getting a lot of goals here. Like he's in the right place.
Yeah.
He's not.
Well, he understands who he is.
He's not.
He understands who he's playing with.
He's for sure. Like he's not a perimeter player, but like there's a little Zach Hyman in there. You mentioned that a few podcasts ago. Like remember Hyman when Hyman played with Matthews and Marner and whatever, and like. I kind of see that here. Like Bunting, I didn't love Bunting with those guys. And I don't know, like Knies is just, oh my God, he's still so young, but he's an animal.
That's the difference between him and Bunting. Hyman's an animal. The difference was when Hyman was in Toronto, he couldn't put the puck in the net. Knies can. And that's what I was saying is he may be like what Zach Hyman has been in Edmonton. He's an animal that can score when he's playing with good players. Bunting was just kind of a rat. Like I loved him when he got in people's faces. He played dirty, but he wasn't a big guy. So you can't be an animal.
So what is your projection here on Matthew Knies? Just if you want to speculate here briefly, what do you think? Let's say he does get 80 points.
That's like the high limit.
Well, like, a lot of those maybe are assists, but can you not see this guy popping 30 goals? Looks like it to me.
Yeah.
Looks like it. So
if you're playing with Matthews and Marner, you're going to get opportunity to score. 100%. And he just seems, he's just getting so comfortable in that role. And he can bury the puck. People were talking about that before. They're like, oh, he didn't really score. Like he scored a bit in college, but he wasn't like a massive goal scorer. This is different though. This is, do you have hands soft enough just around the net? We're not asking you to be Austin Matthews and rip it top shelf from the slot. We're just asking you to stand in front of the net, get some greasy goals. And it takes a skill to do that. John Tavares made a career out of it, having soft hands in close. Knies has that, man. So yeah, I
So
think he could.
let's just say 80 points. Let's just say, would
Okay.
you bridge it and be like, show me again? Or would you be like, shit, what if he pops 100? What if he goes up to another 10? He scores 40 next year and 100 points. Then what?
Well, I don't think he's a 40 goal, 100-point guy.
Would you have ever thought that Hyman was?
That's true. I never would have thought Hyman was a 50 goal scorer, and
No
he
way.
was. Doesn't look like he's going to be this year.
No, can't buy one. Shout
I
out to our boy though, Zach Hyman. Love Zach.
We love Zach Hyman. I think I would try to get a bridge deal.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if he's willing to come in at a number that's comfortable, like that might be a tad high for the first couple of years, but would even out in the length of a contract.
Yeah.
I would do that. But if I'm tree living, I'm just like, fuck, why didn't I just offer him a contract?
Yeah, for sure, man. Like back when Lamoriello was here, he bridged Kadri and Riley, and that ended up working out, I guess. Okay, so we'll see what happens, but just so impressed with Matthew Knies. The power play, they finally tried something different. So they switch up to 2 units instead of loading up 1 big unit. Marner, Matthews, Knies, Pacioretty, Riley on the top first unit. On the second unit, Tavares, Nylander, McMahon, Domi, and Ekman Larson. Looked better, but nothing to show for it. What are your thoughts here? At least they split it up, but still 0 for 2. 0 for 2.
I don't know. I guess I'll look at the positive of it. Last podcast, we were talking about it, and you ranted, and your words were, do something. Do something different. Mm-hmm. They did something different.
I love this. Like, I know they didn't score, but at least you're splitting up the top 4 fucking guys. Like,
it looked good. It looked good. The only problem with it is, like one might get hot. One of those power play units might get hot and start scoring, which is great. I want the power play goals, and they're going to ride it, which means the way some of the guys on this team rub me sometimes is that it might rub them the wrong way if they're not out there on the power play. Like say Matthews say Matthews and Marner, say it's the other unit that's getting the goals.
Yeah.
Right. And then Matthews and Marner on the bench for 90 seconds during a power play.
See,
I don't know about that.
I understand what you're saying here, but Berube was saying coming in here, like, accountability and team first. It's not about your cookies anymore, boys. It's not about getting the cookies anymore. Team fucking first. Whatever helps the team win, that's it. It doesn't, you got 1 point at the end of the night, or you got 4. You get 4 points in a loss. Who fucking cares? Yeah. Forget about getting the cookies. For me, it's like, if one of those units gets going, here's what I would do.
Okay.
I'm just going to, like, if Matthews and Marner, their unit gets the first power play, and like say they're on for a minute and a half and it's nothing, and the second unit gets 30 seconds, next power play, I'm starting with the second unit. I would just go like that until one of them starts fucking putting it in the net. Like, is that not fair at this point?
Oh, right now, yeah, because the power play's been so shit. You got to try something different. But I can tell you what will happen is, there'll come a time, or something will happen in an important game where they don't get a power play goal and they're riding the hot hand, and then people are going to be like, why is the greatest goal scorer in the world only playing this many minutes on the power play? Like, yeah, you know what I mean? You can't win.
And Berube seems to have such a boner for Marner and Matthews that they'll probably be the first guys over the boards no matter what.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean, why not Austin Matthews?
No,
he's the best goal scorer on the planet right now.
I don't have a problem.
It was last year.
I get it, man. I'm just saying, like, if it continues to, like, if one unit seems to be, I would just alternate them until one of them figures it fucking out. And then whichever one that is, you're over the boards first. Yeah. I just think that's fair. Like, because accountability. You want to have accountability. Well, fucking have some accountability, coach. Like, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But anyway, I thought it looked better. I'm glad they made the adjustment. I hope they keep it that way. I do not want to see those 4 guys back on the power play. I don't want to see it anymore. I'm like, nope. No thanks. Thanks, but no thanks, guys. Like, just crazy. Hopefully this one can get rocking. Tell you what I didn't like, though. The third line, Domi, McMahon, and Holmberg. I just think that is an awful combination of a third line. Like, that can't be our third line. It just can't. Like, I like Lorentz and Reeves and Kampf, like, you know, and they've kind of dipped a bit too, but like they're heavy, you know, physical players, get in on the forecheck. Like, I'm not going to have too much to say negatively about the fourth line, but that third line, oh, dude. Like,
Yeah,
it's
bad, but that won't be the third line. I don't know what the hell's up with Yarncroc, but he's got to be coming back soon, and that's going to change it up a bit. They're going to have to do something, and sorry, my dog just barked, if anyone heard that.
Yeah, it's okay.
Timothy Liljegren is probably on the trade block. Oh. Maybe you can get back a third line center or something. I don't know. Something to change the third line up a little bit.
Liljegren is done. Like, he's done. Like, after those 2 brutal losses last week, and he still couldn't draw back into the lineup, Berube doesn't like him. He just does not. He has no time for Timothy Liljegren. After those games against Columbus and St. Louis, if you're not drawing back in then, when are you ever drawing back in? He's just, like, it's over for Liljegren. It's unfortunate that, like, they didn't just...
He put in Myers over Liljegren.
Yep. Yeah, he has absolutely no time for Timothy Liljegren, and I hope they can get a trade done for Lily, because he's not a Berube kind of player. He never will be. I don't see it working out. Treliving's got to get something done here.
Like, he is a defenseman, you know, like someone can use him somewhere.
Of course.
Maybe you can get back something to play on the third line, and you could shift Domi over to the wing and Yarncroc on the other wing. Maybe you could try that, and Holmberg will be your, you know, he's the next guy up when someone's injured. That's what I would do anyway.
Coach, that another thing about Holmberg, like, Berube seems to love him. I don't dislike Holmberg. I just think he's had moments in past seasons where you're like, oh man, yeah, he's a hell of a hockey player. Like, I can find a spot for him. But this season, he does not look like that to me. But yet he is not. What has he been out of? Has he even been out of the lineup? I think he's played every game. Maybe he didn't play one game, but he's basically an every nighter. Like, Berube is seeing something here that I'm not, at least so far this season. But Nick Robertson, healthy scratch for the first time this season in the Winnipeg game. And Berube, did you hear the comment about size?
No, I must have missed this. What did he say?
He was asked why Robertson was coming out of the lineup. It's like, Winnipeg haven't lost. You know, they're a bigger team, so basically size. We wanted to be bigger, handle them a little better. So if the writing's not on the wall there, little Nicky, they have no time for you. And I believe this whole thing with Robertson is a massive experiment to try to get him going so that they can trade him. I don't think.
Well, there's another piece for you. There's another piece that you might be able to turn into a third line center.
You think Craig Berube, after a comment like that, is playing Nick Robertson in the playoffs? I don't think so. Like, I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Like, when the play gets heavier and more physical, and he's like in a regular season game against the Jets, he's like, yeah, he decided to go with Holmberg over Robertson. I think that kind of tells you everything you need to know right there.
And it's funny, he scored all those goals in the preseason. And then I said on the podcast that I thought he kind of looked the same as he always did. And then people were giving me shit about it, giving me flack. Like, he's got 5 goals or whatever. But he always scores in the preseason.
Yeah.
He always scores in the preseason, but just his game kind of looks the same. His legs are moving and he's always going, but he's not really doing anything. Like, he'll take some shots now and then, and he'll create some chances on the rush a little bit, but he's not doing much.
No, I think Robertson is an NHL player. I think Liljegren is an NHL player. I think the time has come to an end for both of them in Toronto. That's just my opinion. I think they're better. They'll be better suited somewhere else. And we bring in a couple guys that like fit more into Berube's style. Speaking of that, November 1st, Friday morning or Thursday night at midnight, November 1st, 3 guys come off the LTIR for the Leafs. Hackenpah, Yarncroc, and Dewar. Too many bodies, man. So you were just talking about it. Robertson, Liljegren. I don't know. Like, could you send Dewar? I don't know if he's got a 2-way deal. Like, can he go to the Marlies? I don't know. But I don't know. Like, 3 guys. They've been waiting for Hackenpah. They've kind of been keeping that, Timmins spot there, like Benoit, Hackenpah. But that guy hasn't played hockey since like last March, I want to say. It's been a long time. So who knows how he's going to look? Like, is he like? But I'm interested to see. So you get Hackenpah in for sure, starting in November. But Yarncroc, Dewar, the money doesn't work, and there's too many cooks in the kitchen here. So what is it? Just as obvious as what we were just talking about, Robertson and Liljegren, like waivers or trade or
something's got to happen. There's probably going to be a trade or something, or someone's going to go to Robidas Island, like get an injury and be able to go on LTIR. I don't know what that's going to be, and that's up to Tree Living, but I didn't know it was on November 1st. That's going to be
in 2 days.
Yeah, that's right here, man.
Yeah.
That's going to be crazy to see what happens. Also, speaking of Tree Living, what'd you think of McCabe signing?
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. McCabe extension for what was it? 5 years, 4.5, I think.
Yeah, I think a little longer to keep the number down.
Yeah, like he's 30, or 31, or I think so. He'll be, but no, the way he guys. I was going to ask you, like, do you like? I like the extension. I think it's good. I like the way McCabe plays. He's a top 4 guy for sure. Do you like him with Tanev as a shutdown pair? Do you like that? Like, and Riley and Ekman Larson? Like, is that what you would do here? Like, or do you or what?
I don't mind it, but I would still experiment and move things around a little bit. I liked McCabe and Ekman Larson when they were together. I thought that looked good, and I did like Tanev and Riley when they were together.
But they were not. They were.
Well, it started to fall apart.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, try anything with Hackenpah coming back into the lineup. Who knows? Who knows where he's going to play? But I did like the McCabe signing because we were talking about what he could get. And remember, we were talking, people were saying 5, 6, over 6 million.
Yeah.
So to keep it under 5, and you have it's longer than I would have liked, but it's under 5 million, which is pretty good.
Cap's going up by like a significant amount. JT's money will be off the books. Marner,
I think he could have got more. McCabe could have got more on the open market.
Without a doubt.
So the fact that he signed now for a little less, that don't happen too often in Toronto. So let's just accept that.
But I think no, for sure. I also think it's one of those deals where there's a bunch of like signing bonuses. Like, I think he gets his cake on like July 1st. Like, so that's a big incentive too, right? Like, I
think for tax reasons, it's a big incentive.
Like, you imagine most of the guys get paid like every 2 weeks or whatever throughout the, a fat check every 2 weeks, like a nice fat check every 2 weeks. But you imagine just like, you imagine this, like $100,000 you're getting paid, let's just say, throughout like 2 weeks throughout the year. Okay. That's still a ton of money.
Yeah.
Like, but that would just be like, but on July 1st, you're getting the full 4 point whatever.
Yeah, it's just one huge payday. It's one massive payday. They only get paid during the regular season.
That's right.
So you get all that money in 8 months, but it's something the Leafs can do that players like, because I would rather that.
They're probably doing that with Tanev too. I don't know for sure, but I imagine they probably are. So yeah, who wouldn't like that? You imagine like July 1st.
Oh my God. You wake up July 1st and you check your bank account. You imagine like Austin Matthews. Like, he checks his bank account on July 1st and he's like, oh, look at that. I got $12.5 million American in my account.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's all American.
It's in American too.
Holy
I know.
shit.
I watched that Theo Fleury documentary years ago on HBO or whatever, and he was talking about what he was making at the time. And he's like, I was getting $350,000 bi-weekly deposited in my bank account. And then he talked about
Crazy.
having like cocaine and alcohol benders where he just dropped $150,000 in a weekend.
How
he's
could
like,
you not?
Yeah, because he's like, it didn't matter. It didn't matter because
No.
on Wednesday there'd be another $350,000 put in my account.
Right.
It's insane.
It is insane, man.
An American, and he was at that time was in Calgary.
Oh, I thought he was okay.
Oh, maybe it was when he was with New York. But I was
The
going to say,
Rangers?
like, if you're getting 350,000 American, that's like 500,000 Canadian.
Yeah, you can get into some pretty crazy stuff in Calgary, but nothing quite like what you'd be getting into in Manhattan.
Oh my God, no.
But anyway, man, so a lot of stuff there, but I'll just to recap quickly. So like Robertson, Liljegren look like the odd guys out to me right now. Holmberg, I don't know, coach seems to like him, but with Hakanpää, Yarncroc, and Dewar ready to come off the IR here within the next couple days, some interesting decisions and some interesting moves need to be made here. They can't not do anything. Something has to happen within the next couple days here. So should be very interesting to find out.
For sure. If you're watching on YouTube, let us know in the comments below what you think might happen over the next 2 days, or what you've heard, or what you would do if you were the general manager to free up the cap space and free up the roster space. Let us know. Anything else?
Nope, that's it, brother.
All right. Well, just I want to thank everybody in the hockey pool for making me trades for Connor McDavid just to have him get hurt. And now all those trades are gone.
Did anything were you close to pulling the trigger on anything?
No.
Like, were people trying to rob you? Like, not give you anything?
Not rob, but like for McDavid, I want a little something more, you know?
What was the best proposal? Care to throw it out there?
One guy offered me his wife for a night.
Well, that would be serious consideration.
No, I forget what they were.
Like, was there one that you were like thinking about, or you were just all like, no.
Yeah, it was pretty much just no. I think I had three or four of them. And then right after I had declined the last one, it came across the screen that McDavid has left the game with a lower body injury. And I was like, oh my God, I should have traded him. No
update. So you might have made the wrong call here, because if he's out for any significant amount of time, that is going to hurt your team.
It's fine. I'll just be a last place team and I'll just run the league and be happy about it. That's all that I can do now.
We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully it's nothing serious for McDavid. He left. He's getting reevaluated. There hasn't been an update yet, but we'll see. Maybe later tonight, sometime tomorrow. We'll see.
Oh, and also we're going to do Redline Diaries tonight, but we're out of time. So we're going to push it to the next episode.
Yeah.
Redline Diaries. We also have to make a new intro so that we don't get demonetized on YouTube.
Yes. So, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. For the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast, on Twitter at Tip In Pod, on TikTok, Tip In Podcast. Email us tipinpodcast@gmail.com. While you're on YouTube, hit like, hit subscribe, and leave a comment. Let us know how you're doing, how things are going. And until next time, I'm Chad.
I'm Dale.
We will.
Hey, look, Seattle Kraken in town for a little spooky Halloween action on Thursday night. We'll see how that baby plays out. So we will be back either after that game or after they got a back-to-back on the weekend in St. Louis. So I'm hoping for a much better effort there on Saturday. And I think Minnesota on Sunday. So we'll be back after somewhere in there for a couple podcasts. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening. Hey, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
We'll catch you later.
You're listening to the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast with your hosts, Chad and Dale.